bum, bum, bum. Hey. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. First off, I do want to thank everybody who tuned in to my first video, just letting everyone know what basically to look out for in my next couple of videos. So if you're starting this journey with me, I'm so excited. Like, y'all don't understand how excited I am. But before I get started and not do anything else, I want you to hear me say this. In this video, I dressed up as depression. This is me dressed up in depression. Look familiar? Does this look familiar to you? How many people do you walk past every day that look like this? Hi, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm fine. How are you? Oh, I'm awesome. Yeah. Stop telling people what depression is supposed to look like. Stop expecting for your friend, your family member, your associate to look a certain type of way or to act a certain type of way in order for them to prove to you that they're depressed. That person doesn't owe you anything to prove to you that they are depressed. A person doesn't owe you anything. They're at their weakest moment. They're struggling. They're trying to find themselves. I started calling depression rebirth because during depression, you literally lose everything about yourself. If you don't, you sometimes you lose everything that's not about yourself. Your house, your home, your car, your job, your friends, your family. You lose so much during that time. And sometimes all people have is what they can somewhat control is their appearance. And sometimes you don't have any control over that depending on how depressed you are. So stop. First off, let's stop telling people what depression is supposed to look like, and let's stop telling people that they don't look depressed or they don't seem depressed, or because they're out smiling and laughing and taking a picture or on Facebook or Instagram or hanging out with a family member or dancing in a video that they're not depressed, because that's a facade. Okay, that's a facade. And you know what it also is? That's a person that is clinging on to hope that is something out there better that's going to make life better for them. They care still to get up and do something to themselves, to put on a fake smile and a fake appearance to appease people, to make them think that everything is okay. You know how much energy that takes to go from crying for days or days of feeling like you don't even want to be here, feelings of suicide, feelings of want to run away and just go somewhere where no one knows you, no one knows your story, where you can hide and no one can reach you. That person put their damn clothes on, got dressed up, and put on a fake smile for hours, and guess what? That drained them. Because I was that person. I was hiding during the day, and then when somebody could pull me out the house, yeah, girl, let's have fun. Yeah, let's have fun, family member. Let's do this. And then when I went back home, I was crying because I couldn't understand how I had the power to make myself uh undepressed, I guess I would say, to enjoy myself and then come back home and then be right back in that same moment. But what I want you to realize is, if you are going through depression, what I just said was, I had the power and you have the power, because you do it, to control it. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy. Oh, don't get me wrong. I definitely know it takes a lot of energy, because it would drain me. If you got me out the house during depression, You wasn't about to hear. You were not about to hear from me for a couple of days because that took a lot out of me because I spent my whole day lying to you. And how do I keep up that energy? How do I keep up that person that I showed you when I was just with you, and that's not even how I feel. That's not how I feel. I was an actor. I acted how I thought you wanted me to be, and sometimes some people can't even do that. Cause you like, oh, you're yourself, but you're not. That's a scary place to be. But you have control. Oh, just over that moment in that time when you did that, you had control. You had control. You didn't have total control because a part of you was still wishing that you probably weren't there, or it was a moment where you actually started enjoying yourself, or it was a moment where this would happen to me where I'd be like, "This is fun. Like, I'm really enjoying myself. Why can't I be in this moment all the time?" What has taken over me that I don't have control over who I am as a person and my happiness? And when you get to that moment, I want you to get a notebook, somebody you trust, a friend, anything. I don't care if you have to record yourself talking to yourself, if you have to sit down and have a conversation with yourself. Remind yourself that you had that control just in that moment to make things feel like they were better. Now, if you have control to make things feel like they are better, you have control to actually make them better. Let me get a little closer. If you had the power to pretend that everything was okay, you also have the power to start making things okay. And I would have those moments. You would get me out. We'd have so much fun, this and that. Then, like I said again, then I would go back home. And when I got back home, I was back depressed again. I was not taking showers. I was not doing my hair. My work was suffering. My relationship was suffering. My friendships were suffering. And when I say relationships, I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about family, I'm talking about your work relationship, your associate relationships, um, companionship. You lose focus of all of those things because guess what? If I can't focus on myself, how can I focus on these relationships? I can't. And a lot of times we lose friends during these moments because of that. And in a way, sometimes we prepare ourselves before depression because depression is not bad. And people are like, you probably like, what you mean depression is not bad? Depression is not bad when you learn how to make depression work for you. And if you allow those people that are reaching out to you and those people that do care about you just to hold your hand, you know, just to talk to you, just to listen, those moments mean so much because I realized how good my friendships were when I was going through depression. Now, when I say that I realized how good my friendships were, is because I was the person who went through depression and disappeared because although I had those moments of pretending, that took so much energy. I mean, that took so much energy out of me. I didn't want to deal with nothing. I didn't want to talk to my dad. I didn't want to talk to my mom. I didn't want to talk to my sister. I didn't want to talk to my best friends. I didn't want to talk to nobody. No, because I believe in the transfer of energy, and I always was one of those people like I don't want to be selfish. I want to help everybody else, but I don't want nobody to help me because how can you help me and I want to help you? Or this way. I'm the strong person. The strong person doesn't need help. How can I help everybody else and I can't even help myself? How can I show a person how weak I am at this moment, or how weak I feel at this moment, and then for them to trust me to make sure that, they can make it through their journey, or, console them when they're going through something. I'm not showing these people that I'm weak and I'm crying and I'm depressed. I don't owe these people to show them, excuse me, how vulnerable I am in this moment. No, I'm not doing it. And that was my problem. I was so afraid to show people how vulnerable and weak I was, that I was really like, honestly, I don't even know. I was really hurting. Okay, I was really hurting myself because I could have grew so much from being vulnerable. And I had friends that, I mean, pop up at my house. Um, Friends that would text me and say, "You know what, Taylor? I'm gonna try not to cry because I'm a crier, okay? Like, I cry for any moment. I cry for being happy. I cry not from being hungry. I just like crying. Crying is fun. Crying is a great release for me. But I have friends that would just text me and be like, I know it's rough and I know that you're going through a lot, but guess what? I'm still here. Family that would text me that. I know, I know it's a lot, but guess what? I'm still here. You don't even have to reply to this message. You don't even have to reply. Because guess what? I know you're there. I know you see this. I know you're going to see this. And when you do, I want you to know that when you're ready, I'm here for you. So don't ever think or dismiss your friend going through depression, because they they want to know that you're there. But what happens during depression is that, I'm trying to see if I can explain it, because energy is so real. So when you're depressed, you don't want no, a part of you wants no one around you. But then you get mad at the people around you for not noticing that you're depressed. You get mad at the people around you for not understanding that you're different. But you're not remembering that you're putting on a fake face for them. So you got this mask on, but then you expecting all these people around you to realize that, one, you have a mask on, two, that you're pretending, three, that you need help, four, that you want them around. But once again, you have this mask on. And the energy that you're putting out inside of you is that you don't want to be bothered. So you're pushing this energy out of, I don't want to be bothered. But then in your mind, you want somebody to hug you. You want somebody to ask you if everything's okay. You want somebody to be like, I've been there before. You want to connect with someone, on the level that you're on, to help you understand why you're going through what you're going through. But the energy that you're putting out is that you don't want to be bothered. How can someone connect to you when the energy you're putting out is that you don't care for to have anyone around you at that moment? So you're sending a conflicting message to the universe. Oh my God, I can't believe so and so doesn't notice that I'm different. But you're doing this around that person. Yeah, girl, everything's fine. And then you looking at this person like, I've been crying. I'm hurt. You don't see this? Like, you don't see this change in me? You don't see this difference in me? And you also have to realize that sometimes people do see that. But guess what? Not everyone knows how to help you. Not every person around you is supposed to help you through your depression journey. And I wanted to make this video today because I was going to make my first initial video about how um, my depression started, but I wanted to start off first to show people what depression looks like. And to remind you that, you know, you have control. Ultimately, you have control. You have so much control that you don't realize how much you have. Because even when you don't think you have control, you have control. So, like I said, when you're going through depression and you're manifesting that you don't want, a part of you is manifesting that you don't want anyone to contact you. You don't want anyone to notice that you're depressed. You don't want anybody to notice anything different that's going on. But then again, another part of you is like, hug me, call me, tell me it's going to be okay. Show up to my house. Like anything, like I'm screaming out for help. Like a part of you is literally like screaming out for help. Please help me. That person who shares stuff on Facebook about being depressed constantly, or you notice different stuff, but when you reach out to them, they're not receptive. Don't start reaching out because they're noticing that. Now, everyone doesn't know how to connect with that person that's reaching out to them. Now, if you have the energy to do it, do it. If you have the energy to reach out to someone who you see is hurting, do it. But when I say when you have the energy, that means that you are where you need to be. That way, when you're talking to this person, you're not taking on their problems. That you're not taking on their depression, because sometimes we don't know how to control our energy. So when we're trying to help someone else during their low times, then we take on a low time also. So make sure when you're reaching out to these people that you're in a strong mind. Also, that you're strong enough to be able to listen to this person, be receptive of the things that's going on with them. Don't judge them. Listen to them and unconditionally love them, because at this moment, they are at their lowest moment. They have no control. They feel like they have no control over anything around them. Not their mind, not their body, not their work, not their job, not anything. So never be mad at that person that you're trying to reach out to and they're not receptive of you reaching out to them, because sometimes people do that because they're looking for a certain person to reach out to them. And you are not that certain person. But that does not mean that they are not going to forget that you did try to reach out. They will not forget that. You may not be the person that may ultimately receive the praise for being that constant person in their life trying to reach out to them. But guess what? They know. You know. And you tried. And you tried to make sure that you were there, and that's all that matters. Don't ever beat yourself up for not being able to help someone during a depression, because in a weird way, um everything happens for a reason. So although you may not be who that person needs, that person may ultimately be who you need down the road. So never, 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 ever, ever be mad at somebody for how they interact with you during depression, or how you know they're not receptive of you during their depression, because it's a crazy moment. It's a roller coaster, and never tell anyone that they don't look like they're depressed. Never tell anyone that, oh, you're not really depressed. Oh, okay, well, tell me what depression is. Everyone has their own way of depression, because depression is starts different for a lot of people. Some of us it starts the same, but some of us it starts different. Like for me, my depression came when from work. Um which was crazy because I didn't realize how much I was putting into work and not into myself. So I embodied work and not Taylor. And I lost myself. And then when I lost myself in work, I had to find out who I was, because from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, I was this I can get my word out, persona of a person, of a hard worker. You need something to answer, I got it. I have the question. I mean, I have the answer for you. Like anything you need something done on the computer, I go done on the computer. You need something fax, I got that fax. You need somebody trained, I'll train them. You want me to do a project? Sure, I take 4, 5, 6 projects. But it became overwhelming. And then when it became overwhelming, I started not performing at that top performer that I was known to be. So then it's like, if I'm not the top performer anymore, if I'm not the person that you can go to answer all these questions, who am I? Literally, who am I? I don't know who I am. And I had to sit and think to myself, like, I'll tell you the exact thought that I had. It came a moment where I literally said to myself, I no longer find purpose in someone else's dream. Or I no longer find purpose in someone else's purpose. Because I was that person who, I've always had like um things in my head somewhat mapped out. Like I critically think crazy, like I can't help it. Like if you tell me we going to the play park, I'm already at the play park in my head before we even get to the play park. I'm on the swings, I'm on the slide, like I'm there. I'm enjoying it already. And in my mind, this was me. I've always been the type of person, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. If I want to be a cashier, I'm going to be a cashier. If I want to scoop ice cream, I'm going to scoop ice cream. If I want to vacuum, I'm going to vacuum. It didn't matter what the job was, what it was. If I wanted to do it, I was going to do it. If I didn't like a job, guess what? I quit. I'm not doing it no more. That's just who I am. I was always, it's not working for me, I'm quitting. And that's always how I've kind of lived my life. But once I realized that I wanted to stop just quitting for no reason, is a moment of rebirth also. So I was like, okay, I want to be a customer service rep. So I became a customer service rep. I loved it. But guess what? I wanted something else. My plan was customer service rep. Then I become a customer service rep. Then I'm going to be a team lead. Then after be a team lead, then I'm going to be a manager. And before I become a manager, though, I want to work in this department. I want to work in that department, in this department, because I want to be well-rounded. So I always had this plan of how I wanted my career goals to be, because I saw how I could make something that was already built better. So when I say that I was one of those people who wanted to find purpose in another person's dream, or purpose in another person's purpose, that's what I meant. That's kind of like the lifestyle that we live. Now, it's nothing wrong with that, because that's what ideas and growth is for, and that's why we have these organizations and these businesses and business partners and stuff like that we have, because we literally find purpose in other people's purpose, or we find purpose in other people's dreams, or sometimes we find purpose in another person's purpose and make it our purpose. So it can work all different type of ways, but I was that first person, and I wanted to make something that was already built so much better. But it wasn't until I didn't have the support behind me in order to make what I felt could be better is when I lost myself. Because nobody was helping me. And I had so much on my shoulders and on my back. But when I needed help on these work projects, or when I needed, I was trying to, give new ideas, nobody was receptive of it. And then, when you have this type of energy of being able to be multifaceted, as I would say, and you're on all these projects, you're doing great things. You know what you do? You have people, you start to get people around you who are trying to figure out, well, how is she juggling all of this? Well, how is she holding it together? I want to do it. She makes it look easy. I want to do it. So then you get those people that put that energy out of, they don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you do better. And when that energy is put out around you, if you're not strong enough sometimes, it can really hurt a lot, because especially if you're one of those people who want to see everybody do better and another person just wants to see you do worse, or another person just wants your position but they don't understand how much pressure you're under, shit can hit the fan. And for me, and that's when shit hit the fan, because I was doing everything that I could and I was stressed out, but I wasn't showing it because I was doing this. And then I started noticing that people was wondering, how you doing this? And you got all this stuff going on. Oh, it must be easy. I want to chill like you do. I want to do what you do. So you know what I started doing? Sure. Because I'm stressed out. And I take 2 anxiety pills to come in here every day. And guess what? I just had an anxiety attack 30 minutes ago. But you didn't see it because guess what I did? I opened my drawer up. I took my anxiety pill. And then I went to the bathroom. I continued my anxiety attack. And I came back. And I came back here. And I started working with this same smile. And you thought because you didn't see all of that, that I'm handling this all so well. Like, I must have your position. I must do what you do. And then when I started handing it out, this is what you've been doing? They ain't trying to help me do this, or they not trying. And it became like, girl, you got this back. Mm-mm. I don't want it back. I don't want it back. Because as I started releasing it, I started understanding myself more and realizing that I was overwhelming myself with something that I had no control over, that nobody even cared what I was doing in the first place. I was coming here every day and nobody even cared what I was doing in the first place. And I tell this story right here because um it bothers me to this day. I was at work one day, literally. It became a point where I started working almost. My job was only 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. I started working almost 7 days a week. I was working some days. I was working 8 to 9 o'clock at night. 8 to 7. Sometimes I was coming to work at 6 o'clock in the morning and working till 9 o'clock at night, trying to keep up with work. It was just becoming too much. And you had those times at work where you're appreciated. And one day I came to work and I opened up my email and it said, I want to thank you guys for all of your hard work. On my on a desk outside my office are cookies. And I want you to help yourself, and once again, thank you so much for all your hard work. And I kind of just sit in my computer and I was like, I've been here 7 days a week. I've been taking time from my home, myself, really, my friends, the things that I want to do to be here. And of course, the money is good, but how is the money good if I don't have no time to spend it? I'm tired. The other times I'm asleep. And you're going to tell me that for my hard work, you gonna give me a damn cookie? I lost it. I wish right now I had my best friend right here with me so I could pull her to the side and I'd be like, girl, do you remember that day when I was at work and they sent that email about a cookie? Because I literally lost it. I was like, I don't want no cookie. Nowhere can, like, I still get lost for words now when I think about it, because you equate my hard work to some cookies from Walmart. And that's when I realized that I couldn't do this anymore. That's when I realized that I had to put myself first, and that this place was not for me anymore. It wasn't for me anymore. And that if I wanted a purpose out of life, and if I wanted my happiness back, that I had to take back control of it, because I